Boss mad at the quality of work at our understaffed workplace. I work part-time at a cafe. A couple of days ago we had a huge festival in the city, and work was extremely busy. On top of that we had a worker that couldn't make it because her grandmother was sick. The cafe isn't particularly large, and we can comfortably run a regular day with 2 people on the shift. However, yesterday may have been as busy as it gets, and still 2 people, co-worker A and me in the morning, co-worker B joining around 2 p.m. and co-worker A leaving around 4. Understandably, we had trouble keeping up with customers, and cleaning up at the end of the day was a big hassle. No big deal, just one busy day. We left 30 minutes overtime, and glad the day was over. But nope. The next day my boss is on my ass complaining how our cleaning and prep for the next day was unsatisfactory. Now if it was any other day I would have apologized and moved on. Yesterday of all days, was extremely busy. Was it so hard to understand we were understaffed and it was physically impossible to do any more? Since our establishment is run by a company that runs other restaurants in the area, I even asked around if anybody could spare hands on the day we were busy, which they couldn't. Apparently me asking for help in the other restaurants disrupted the customers and was very rude. Okay then. My boss goes on to criticize the poor job we had done and how they never had this sort of trouble before. A little background, pretty much everybody that works at the cafe currently is a part-time worker. Since our last full-time worker quit, I get the sense that people haven't been trained well. The frequency of these long ranty messages from our boss has also increased, and only ever started being a problem after our full-time worker quit. Curious. Our job also has a lot of instructions that is only really transmitted by word of mouth, and requires some practice and getting used to. On top of that, the break room is tiny, a lot of our appliances are broken, or break easily because they are cheap and poor quality. I have a feeling the reason the full-timer was not replaced was also to cut costs. Really shows that they don't give a fuck about workers being comfortable, or necessarily the quality of their output. But when the minimum wage earning worker doesn't go above and beyond with their part-time job, it's unacceptable. How delusional could you be? I am quitting this month anyway, and glad I am. I don't feel great about how this had to end, but with shitty company policy and cost-cutting measures, I would not be surprised if more people quit and the quality of the establishment continues to go down. Fuck bosses, and fuck work. Bad bosses. I am sick and tired of my egocentric bosses taking credit for my work. And not even being kind enough to CC me in the delivery of it. Or say thank you. I am tired of their micromanagement and having to check my work with them detail after detail only to have no single change made after 3 years of working together. I am tired of working after hours and weekends and having them hire newbies with a higher salary than me. I am a financial engineer graduated from a good university in my country. This is supposed to be the best place to work in my country and it honestly sucks. I've been considering moving to a startup or a technological business, since I now believe the financial sector is rotten. Would that even be better? Or more of the same shit? Thanks for the venting opportunity. Work just expects you to go in earlier. A month ago I started a new job. During recruitment I laid out my schedule. It started with I work nights. I work Sunday night Thursday. After a month, I've never started later than 8 a.m. with most scheduled appointments at 7 a.m. I've never been home earlier than late Friday early Saturday. When brought up I was told the company works with other companies that operate at these hours, therefore I have to, even after I was told I would be doing nights. I let it slide as the first few weeks start times were weird with the holiday and whatnot. Today though was the kicker. I said I couldn't start any Sunday before 8 p.m. as I have to drop my son off. Sure, not a problem, I was told. So I started at 8 p.m. and worked till 5 a.m. At 10 a.m. I get a message about how I should have made them aware I was going to start so late and how it ruined everything and that I should have started earlier to make their schedule. I was unaware of work. So my work for today was changed to start tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to better align. Work I could be doing tonight was moved to tomorrow. Where is the logic? I also now have a scheduled meeting in the office on Wednesday. I have 2 more job offers from reaching out to the companies I turned down a month ago. Pretty sure I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice on Wednesday. I hate to hop jobs, but I went 7 years with a mediocre company out of loyalty that when it came down to it was not reciprocated. Not making that mistake again. Should I quit my job or stay? I'm writing this on my bathroom break and can't tell any more. My manager denied me bathroom breaks for 2 hours as we were too busy, yet had maybe 3 orders and plenty enough people to cover me for maybe 2 minutes most. Now she's also been yelling at me this whole shift for taking too long to make a salad or to bag when every responsibility in the front is put on me, while she goes on her phone right next to me and then yells. I love the other managers, but also about half the co-workers either stress me out or give me horrible headaches. I can't decide anymore. Please help me out, anyone. I would just like to be able to do my job in a routine manner and go home. Have peace of mind. That's hard to find these days. The alternative that I've been led to is dropping out of the workforce to preserve my sanity. I have to go back to work today. I work in the automotive industry and my factory has been on layoff the last few months, and oh my, I loved it. Not being tired, having all my freedom, and today I feel it all fleeting away. My only hopes are rumors that we might be laid off again after this week. I hate working every day just to be able to barely afford the necessities of life. I make only slightly less on unemployment and I don't have any of the stress of listening to 4 bosses complain at me, the constant harassment to work 13.5 hours every day. I was so happy for a minute there, and today as I get dressed and ready to stand on my feet for 8 hours, I feel the sadness that is my 40-hour work week sucking the happiness from me. Workplace says co-workers cannot share medical information among ourselves. I work in retail and we had a big meeting where our leadership said that we are not allowed to share any medical information about ourselves to our fellow co-workers. They are saying that it is because HIPAA, but that is not what HIPAA is about. This is clearly because they do not want people telling each other they had COVID and giving each other reason to get paid time off. This is illegal, right? They cannot stop us from sharing our own personal information with each other? Does anyone have any advice about talking to my employer about this? I am in NYC if that matters. My mom is exploiting my nephew's labor. My mom got a job working concessions for the local baseball team last month. Since about her 2nd week there, she's been taking my nephew, who is 9, along with her and has slowly been having him do more work in the concessions area. I had expressed my concerns to her about this before, but last night she was beaming and so excited about all the extra duties my nephew is now doing. She has him sweeping, mopping, making nachos, filling drinks, running food, basically everything that she and the rest of the employees do. She was so excited to tell me all of this and say he's earned $21 this week. I didn't hesitate to share my views on this situation, again, and tell her she should stop doing this, but should I take this farther? My sister somewhat shares my views on this, but not enough to make it stop, I guess. I don't know, the whole thing just rubs me the wrong way and I guess I'd like some feedback from strangers on the internet. What are the most useless jobs in your opinion? Which jobs would vanish if we had a Uber? My opinion is that many jobs in marketing and HR are really useless and are mostly concerned with producing/selling more stuff and employing more people to do so just so that the people working there don't starve, because capitalism, I guess. Lots of jobs I see in the programming sector are about HR or optimizing ad performance, SEO, and collecting and analyzing data to show even better ads. If we had a basic income, nobody would have to produce stuff just for the sake of selling it. It would become easier just to produce the things that are really needed, do the things that you really want. You wouldn't have to be profitable or necessarily better than others in certain ways. Also, there are still many, partly even subsidized, jobs that are hurting the planet. Producing and selling coal, cars, meat, and weapons could all go away in favor of renewables, automated public transport, vertical farms, and veganic agriculture. Retail is also a sector where more automation and just omission of manual labor could happen. We could have underground warehouses where robots pick up the stuff we order online and then they get sent to us with an autonomous mail robot. Confused upper middle class. I busted my ass for many years to get a good job in the medical field. Had visions of buying a huge house and being rich. Here I am now, making 200+ K a year, yet I feel anything but rich. Everyone in my field still works tons of overtime, and you're almost seen as lazy if you don't. And while I'm certainly able to live comfortably, my life is very modest. The average price of a home in my city is 500+ K and I didn't spend that much and can't fathom how anyone is. I just don't understand how average and true middle-class Americans are making anything work right now. Please don't confuse this post as bragging, it's more of an eye-opening experience. I get stuck in my own bubble sometimes and forget what life is like for 99% of the population. Meaningful way to show appreciation? Hey folks, I'm the director of a pediatric mental health facility. My staff have been dealing with very difficult patients who have been assaultive and caused a significant amount of strain and burnout on my staff. I really want to do something special for my staff that isn't the typical pizza party. However, I don't have a big budget and I can only afford to do so much out of my own pocket. What are some things that would make you feel appreciated as a staff member? I asked for a raise and was told no. I'm turning in my 2 weeks' notice tomorrow. I accepted my current job knowing I would be unhappy with the $14.50/hour, but I have been a stay-at-home mom for so many years that I was just happy to get a job in the first interview that I took it. I've been here over 6 months now, and it is time for our mid-year reviews. I did my research and found that the average pay in my area for this position is over $21/hour. I have done some interviews over the past month that went well, and even received a verbal offer from one place. I was just waiting for my background check before they could give me an official offer. Last week I asked boss for a raise, but didn't mention I have been doing interviews at other companies. He said his hands are tied, but he would bring it to his boss and HR. This week we had the regional manager come to our location. I was given 3 hours notice. She wanted a meeting with me to discuss my request. During the meeting she said, "I'm so happy you felt comfortable advocating for yourself." Then, proceeded to tell me I was getting nothing for a raise and they feel like their total benefits package makes them competitive in the market. I laid out the verbal offer I already received and how it made their package look like nothing. My boss was sitting in on the meeting and looked so defeated. We are already short-staffed and he immediately realized I'm going to be leaving now too. I think the regional manager thinks I'm bluffing. Friday my back group check finally went through at the other place, and I received the official offer. The regional manager is going to be pissed when I turn in my notice tomorrow with our meeting follow-up attached to it as the reason why I'm not staying. Edit to update, I handed in my notice to my boss first thing this morning. He clearly saw it coming. He just asked if I wanted to tell the team myself or if I wanted him to do it. I told him I would tell them except for our assistant manager who is on vacation. We both agreed it is best to just let her live in ignorant bliss until she comes back from vacation. My co-workers are sad but wish me well. No word from the regional manager yet. Now for the 2 weeks to be over so I can enjoy a week of vacation before starting at my new job. Shoes on the other foot. When your boss tries to pressure you into covering or doing someone else's job because no one can figure out how to get employees to stick around, just remember that clever sign that managers used to love so much: a lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine.